Yes, to find your way in life, you need to get lost a little bit. And well, how can you find yourself if you don't realize that you are being lost? If you realize that you're not in the place where you want to be. And of course, this starts to come up because we don't only live from a mental space, we also live from an emotional and energetical place, also from the soul. Every person has a different fate in life. Everyone, every soul has a different fate in life. And they can make as much as they want from the fate they have. And what humans fail to do is that they compare themselves to the fate of others. That's a big mistake, and that's what most of the people are doing. They believe that if they do the same things as the other person, they will have the same level of success or happiness and fulfillment. And this is never the case, actually. You can be happy by realizing what you truly need in your life when you eliminate the social conditioning that has been implanted onto you. This took me a long time to understand what it was. It was not always easy for me to understand what it was. And still I am in process of eliminating a lot of deep-rooted beliefs that were blinding me. I had so much energy that I wanted to find myself, but I was putting that energy in a wrong battle. Therefore, that made me get lost so many times. And I was getting deeper realizations each time I got lost, and I went through like this cocoon, um, this warm caterpillar cocoon butterfly transformation that happens many times. We live so many lives in this single life. So feeling lost feels like very emotionally overwhelmed, so many emotions, or starting to realize that you have so many emotions, that you are a sensitive human being. So this brings us to the point that we need to accept some part of ourselves that we didn't know they were there. And things about your identity, of what you think, of how you feel, or what you really want. Because imagine you lose yourself and then you realize what you truly want. And then you have to say no to the life that you previously created with all that energy. There needs to be a lot of detachment. Perhaps you're doing your inner work, meditation, your yoga, your qigong, your breath work, reading, your chantings, any kind of spiritual practice that you're doing, because that's gonna bring you to your soul. But if you don't remove those beliefs, if you don't work with detachment, you're gonna believe that at some point you will be good and you will be living for that place, for that moment. Someday I will feel good. Someday everything's gonna be all right. Someday my life is gonna change. Therefore, because you're living from a place of, I don't like this lifestyle I have, that's the cause, that's the effect you are creating. There are two things at this point: the fate that you need to live and the perspective that you have of that fate. There are two different things. Right now, you are living what you have to live. Right now, you're going through the process that you have to live. But you can live it from a different place, feeling emotionally and also with yourself and what you think about yourself. You see, a lot of happiness comes when we release all the ideas that don't serve us, believing like we need to be better than what we are, or that we are not what we need to be. So this creates a lot of heaviness, a lot of stories that we are trying to keep alive, and that makes the path really heavy. And this is a great way to not appreciate the life that you have. If you're getting triggered most of the time by things that happen around you, and the more sensitivity you have practicing these spiritual routines, it's gonna be even harder. And this hardship comes because we are not ready to surrender things that don't work for us anymore. The identity, that self image that we have. In Toltec teachings, they talk about hunting for power. And power, it's available for you at every moment. Power comes through experience and through wisdom. So if I want to get more personal power to find freedom in my life, I need to let myself experience and do the things that I'm afraid of. But they say that the number one hindrance of a hunter, in this case, a Toltec hunter, it's the self-image. Imagine if I am gonna go and do this job interview, for example, or make this business proposal, or uh, ask for someone to marry me, or to even date. If I am really attached to the self-image that was created from social conditioning, I am gonna be acting from a place of not losing that identity, or from succeeding from that identity, and not just from the joy of acting, from the joy of being. Therefore, you cannot hunt effectively. Therefore, you're gonna lose more by trying to protect your loss, if that makes sense. There's gonna be so much energy to protect yourself. So the quicker you realize that there are beliefs in you, wanting to be successful, money, better than others, being more handsome, being prettier, being more like stronger, or better good looking, or more spiritual, or any kind of ego, self-importance, or self-pity identity, um, it's gonna be so hard for you to travel through that fate that you currently have. Or the choice is yours to start to work in releasing all these beliefs, all this identity, and just enjoy the path that you have. You don't know where that's gonna come, but what I can tell you, and this brings the metaphysical part, is that you are light. You are not your body, you are not your thoughts, your mind. You are what is behind that, what you cannot see, what you know that exists but cannot explain with words. Some people call it the Tao or God. You see, God contains the entire universe, the seen and the unseen. And also, what you can see is part of that universe. But there's a part of you which is the unseen part of you. In yoga, they call it the Atman. Okay? So that lacks nothing. It's the principle that Krishna talks about, that Jesus Christ talks about. When you come to the kingdom of the Father, then everything will be offered to you. And everything, I mean, by what you need. Humans need to be happy. Humans need to be peaceful. They need to be in peace with themselves. That's what you're going to be offered. And also, a part of it has abundance. Just look at the nature. It's abundant by itself. By itself, that also makes you abundant. But not in the way that the programming might let you see that. You need to move that away so that you can see it from a different perspective and start to enjoy every day of your life, while keep doing it, your personal practices, and keep going deeper, more sensitive. You start to break a lot of the layers of what don't let you see who are you. So it feels uncertain, the path, many times. Many times it feels uncertain. But when you look at it from a different level, from a level of surrendering and detachment, you don't stress much, you don't worry that much, you're not anxious, you're not guilty or blaming or feeling not good enough. That needs to break the sooner you can do that for yourself. One thing I can tell you that you want to allow yourself to do, it's to not do anything, or find activities that allow you to not do anything. Being with people, it's a great way of having your mind to think. Doing a project, it's a good way to be in the mind, like things that don't bring you to the mind, things in ways that you can relax. The best way is to sit on a chair and do nothing. Sit on a chair and do nothing and be there daily. Not do anything for half an hour or 1 hour, just not do anything. And you will see that will take you deeper than anything. That will give you space for you to find things about yourself, to have clarity, to have certainty. And also, if you feel lost, if you feel confused, too much reading information about spiritual knowledge from a place of I need this to fix me doesn't work. You need to go through the process. Too much practice also, that makes you even more sensitive. And if you haven't worked with your beliefs, then you're gonna be so triggered by life with that sensitivity of so much spiritual practice. And if you work with your belief, you're gonna realize that you don't need to do so much spiritual practice. You don't need to compensate yourself because now you feel good enough with yourself. Does this make sense? And lastly, find a hobby or an interest that you can master, that you can work for just the pleasure of enjoyment, of joy. In my past, I wanted to play music to make money, and I never did it because it never felt aligned with me. And now I gladly took again my passion for playing music, and I just practice it, and it's so good for my soul. It nourishes me, the energy that I need to be good in the areas of my life, right? It's for me, for my soul, for my heart, playing the music. And I just keep doing and doing and doing and doing and doing, and I get better, and I love it. And I have something to share with people. People love it. It gives a lot of meaning in my life. So if you are happy, vibrating happiness, vibrating joy, bliss, that's what you're going to be attracting in your life. That's just the principle of magnetism. Okay? And this will make you find your way in life. Which, by the way, if you're already searching for your way in life, you are already in the path. But let's go first to the main thing I told you, which is start to eliminating those belief systems. I hope you like this video, and I have a beautiful unconditional love guided meditation that will help you start to see and shift your perspective from all your life entirely. You can look at the link below to download it. And yeah, let me know how it goes. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Powerful Freedom. Like this video, and this is Isa. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.